was the second time I found myself running around downtown Salt Lake 2 a.m. with underwear full of cilantro. It was the most bizarre thing I've ever experienced.
Underwear full of cilantro.
Don't ask me how I got there. I couldn't tell you.
I don't think I want to know how I got there. I mean, if it was a really hot, humid day and you were sweating pretty heavily, it probably helped with the stink, but you know, who knows? How absorbent is what is the absorbency of cilantro?
What a generous interpretation.
I'm trying to give benefit of the doubt, like, you know, I couldn't get into any air fresheners, but you know, there was a Walmart and their spice aisle was open.
Oh no. Oh no.
But anyway. Hello, everyone, and welcome to another episode of the Black Tower Podcast. We are a dedicated Wheel of Time podcast because we are nerds, we love it, and it is a fantastic series and TV show, and we can't resist talking about it. I am your Bajan Mahale, Andrew.
I am your Sorovan Mahale, Josh, drinking from an invisible cup tonight.
It's only half invisible.
Half invisible cup tonight.
Dude, you've only got half a cup. How is it staying full? What's going on?
The weaves of the power, my guy.
Yeah, we'll go with that. Our Amankhan Daniel, Amankhan Mahale, I guess. I should give the full title. Daniel is on his way to the recording studio from being out in the field, also known as working, and should be joining us here relatively soon. But what you can do in the meantime, while you're waiting for Daniel to come in and you're listening to all of us talk about our promos and plugs and all this other stuff, you can go on over to the Black Tower Pod, well, just blacktowerpod.com to find anything and everything Black Tower Podcast, merch shop, Patreon, Discord, calendar, list of episodes, all that fantastic stuff is right there at blacktowerpod.com. Also on the site, you can find a nice handy link to a very successful and a very fantastic business, great friends of the podcast. And, you know, they have no choice but to tolerate and be around Josh, the Crystal Barista.
We're obligated to say great friends, by the way.
Are you?
Because that's my best friend. Hey!
Contractually enforced best friend. I mean, not that it needs to be enforced, but, you know, the contract is there for backup, right?
It is. It's the Crystal Barista. You guys know her. For those of you local to the Utah area, we are actually gearing up for the Crystal Festival. And as I was just explaining, we do have a whole butt ton of new inventory because we just did a week-long rock shop buyout trip where it was a 27-hour drive one way. They loaded up an entire rock shop, drove it all the way back home, and now we're going to sell it all at the Crystal Festival for stupidly low prices because that's how we do. So come check that out. If you don't live in Utah or you don't want to fly to Utah to come to the Crystal Festival, that's cool. Go to thecrystalbarista.com or facebook.com/rockpick or follow them on Twitter at rockpick. So good times. Super sponsor, super show sponsor, super awesome people.
Somewhere else you can go to find even more awesome people. I'm not saying they are more awesome than Crystal Barista, but they are at least equally as awesome, is thegreatblight.com. There is an ever-evolving, spoiler-friendly wiki for the Wheel of Time book series, and I think they are working on including the TV show. Don't quote me on that. But if you want to know what happens in the books and you're only up to, I don't know, book 3, you can go and check out the wiki there, search anything in it, and see events by book so that you don't get spoiled. You can also find a ton of other Wheel of Time content creators, podcasts, YouTubers, musicians, artists, trivia, you name it. You can find a ton of other people that will talk your ear off about the Wheel of Time at will for free there. When you're done with that, or while you're even listening to us and then other content creators, you can go over to newcreationsbyjen.com and check out a ton of Wheel of Time inspired merch to include Wheel of Time content creator merch like the frosty mugs and things like that. So go and check all those out. And if you do, tell them that the Black Tower Podcast sent you and help validate our existence and them tolerating us at all.
We're going to post pictures of our heads on the internet and wait for validation.
It's a good plan. Last plug for this episode, and it'll be plugged probably into the future. We have something new for you. We have somewhat partnered with a energy supplement company called Dubby, Dubby. You can find all their stuff at dubby.gg if you want to just look and see what they are. If you want to know what Dubby is, it is a jitterless energy supplement blend. Each container comes with about 30 servings or 30 scoops worth. And a normal serving has about 150 milligrams of caffeine, the same as about 2 standard cups of coffee. It has no sugars, no artificial coloring, none of that crazy stuff. If you are sensitive to artificial sugars like Splenda, do be cognizant of that. But it's fantastic. We've been trying it for, 2 weeks now?
Yeah, somewhere around there. I gotta say, the jitterless, it cracks me up a little bit. It is jitterless if you don't drink a lot of it, or if you're going to like the gym or something like that, where you're actually going to expel a lot of energy. It does have a tiny bit of a pre-workout feel. So, as Andrew said, proceed with caution. But for those of you degenerates like me who drink caffeine all day, every day, you're good.
Yeah, it's going to be dependent on your caffeine tolerance and sensitivity. Again, 1 scoop, roughly 150 milligrams of caffeine. It's nothing crazy for me, but you can adjust the amount that you use to your own liking because you control the scoops. If you want to try it out, there is a discount link down in the show notes or description on YouTube, or you can just go to w.gg, find whichever one you want. They have 3 flavors. They have Dub Sludge, they have Dragonade, which is the one I have. Josh has Dub Sludge, and Daniel has Galaxy Grenade. I think we all enjoy our flavors. They all taste really good. They're pretty good. I would say let them dissolve in water a little bit more than just shaking and stirring it. It helps with some of that kind of chalky powder stuff, which already isn't that bad with it. It's a pretty fine powder. But you can use code BTP, that is B as in boy, Perrin sure does nothing in the TV show. P as in that Perrin really needs to do something in this episode. Or P as in Perrin, please, for the love of God, do something in the TV show.
Do something.
You can use code BTP for 10% off your order of anything that is not already on sale or discounted. So go and check it out and see if you like it. Deep breath. So all the promos, all the shout outs, all that kind of stuff done and out of the way. We are not alone. Yes. 3 weeks in a row now, we have guests. They're all fantastic. They're all super exciting, and we're super excited to have all of them. This time, we have with us Kyle from BingetownTV. Go ahead and say hi,
Woo!
Kyle.
Hello, hello.
For Kyle. Woo!
Yes, it's an honor to be here. I cannot wait to talk about all the stuff with you guys. It's been great chatting before the episode started, so I'm excited to actually get into some Wheel of Time talk as well.
So what is Bingetown? What do you guys do?
So
just break it down for us.
Yeah, so Bingetown TV, we cover a lot of like sci-fi, fantasy TV. We kind of break it into 3 different parts. So we have a Pitch Town series where one of the 7 of us or a guest will come on and pitch us one of their favorite shows. We watch the pilot and then we talk about whether we're going to keep watching it or not. We have a Rooks and Vets, which is kind of an extension of Pitch Town. It's when we actually dive into the show. So we'll have people that have watched the TV show watch it with people who are watching it for the first time. The first one we did with that was Spartacus, the Starz TV show Spartacus. That was a blast. And then we kind of just do like a great show. And then we do like a Binge with us is just kind of classic like TV shows like Wheel of Time. As they come out, we just do episodes like that.
And I think y'all have done some anime too, right? Like Attack on Titan.
Yeah, we actually just started doing anime. That's kind of like been the underlying secret goal almost of Bingetown, of some of us in Bingetown, is to get to the anime content. So
I mean,
yeah,
that's
it's kind of been like a
terrible.
Trojan horse.
Oh yeah.
I hate anime.
Yes, I'm with my people.
Premium Crunchyroll subscription. What?
Yes. Code
Well, if you ever
BTD.
need recommendations, let me know, because if I don't have them, I
would
can
be
get
awesome.
All right.
them. Not that
Crunchyroll.
I mean, you're probably already inundated with
Yeah,
suggestions. But
you can't tell here, but we got some manga hanging up on the bookshelf over here. So.
nice. I don't have any manga hanging around. I just have action figures.
So my
Oh,
next question would be: so you've got one other guy on the show on Bingetown who has read some of the books.
I think you
Yes.
have two.
Yes. So yeah, Luke is another person that's on the show. He is maybe like chapter 20 on. Oh my God, I'm reading The Shadow Rising. So he is about to enter
Okay.
Ruidian or Ruidan, however you want to say it. And then actually Jimmy is also reading it as well. He just
Okay,
finished
cool.
The Great Hunt today.
Nice.
Yeah. So he's
And then-
excited about
and-
that.
And I gotta ask: have you completed the series?
Yeah, so I'm actually on a reread right now. I'm on chapter, I think, 32 of The Shadow Rising. So Luke started his first read before my reread, and I've kind of blown past him because the audiobooks are like crack cocaine to me. So
Dude, they're great. They're
they're
so great.
Yeah, Michael Kramer is just my man for life.
Yeah,
He's
they're
awesome.
fantastic folks. Yeah,
Yeah.
they're a lot of fun to chat with and talk to. Which y'all know about some fun people to chat with. Totally not jealous over here. Y'all got to talk to some of the cast.
Yes. Yeah, that was crazy.
Yeah. Tell us about that.
It's actually a funny story. Going into it, it was supposed to be Luke and I, and then an hour before they were like, "Hey, by the way, only one person can do it."
Oh,
So I was like, "Okay, me, I'll do it." And then I was under the impression that it was going to be like a 1-on-1 or like I guess a 1v2. But they kind of dumped us into a group with like maybe like 8 or 9 other people. So I only got to ask one question, but it was crazy just to chat with Rand and Perrin as like their actors. So that was fun.
All right.
Yeah.
All right.
I remember seeing it, and when we started talking about doing some collabs with you guys, that was definitely one of the things that as we were looking around and everything we saw, we were like, happy that other content creators are able to get these interviews and talk with members of the cast and talent and people that work with the show.
Yeah.
But there's always that little bit of like, oh man, I would have loved to do that. So it's like,
Yeah.
like proud jealousy.
Our day,
Yeah.
Not the
our day is coming, Andrew. Our
I would-
day is coming.
I think it is as
yeah.
well. I mean,
in less
Amazon
than 24
seemed-
hours actually.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Hush, hush on that one.
Keep
So, like,
your
okay.
eyes peeled on the YouTube. We'll tell you after.
That's the
Oh,
thing.
fun.
though. You guys got to subscribe to our YouTube. If you're listening to us right now, and you're not subscribed to our YouTube, you're just gonna miss this one.
Well, I think.
Or not.
It should be on.
Maybe
the
I'm
hope-
talking out my ass.
The
again.
hope is for it to be a bonus podcast episode as well, because it's not going to be a super long thing. So we've got about 20 minutes with someone involved with the TV show. And by the time this episode is out there public, you'll probably already know who it is.
You'll
which
already
hopefully
know.
will already be out there. But yeah,
Yeah.
we want
And
to
look
keep
at
it
that.
a surprise for
in
the
the
patrons.
time we talked about that, I went on to the Bingetown YouTube account and subscribed, so it's that easy.
Hey, look at that.
And if you haven't
Bingetown
subscribed,
is where it's
please
at.
subscribe. And if you're listening to us, please follow us on whatever platform that you're listening on, and leave a review. Please be honest. We're not going to beg for 5-star reviews, and we're not going to come
5-star
after you for
reviews.
1-star reviews.
We love our 1-star reviews. Those guys are great. Also, while you're out there, go subscribe to Bingetown as well, because it's
Woo.
seriously a super fun, super entertaining show.
Thank you. Yeah, honestly,
So-
yeah, and the weaker reviews are kind of funny too. It's funny to read the comments and stuff.
Oh yeah.
Love them. Love them.
So,
Okay, so
Spoiler warning.
spoiler warning. Spoiler
So,
warning.
what I'm thinking we should probably do is a spoiler warning, definitely all the way through the Great Hunt, maybe into at least the first half. Well, we'll just say all the way through the Dragon Reborn. So the first 3 books. because based off of season 1, with it being predominantly Eye of the World, a little bit of New Spring here and there, and a faint bit of Great Hunt, at least from what I remember. I don't think we'll go too far past Dragon Reborn in season 2.
I hope not.
And that's what we're talking about today. Right?
That's right.
Yeah.
What to expect when you're expecting season 2.
We know everything about season 2, and we're going to spill all the tea right here, right now.
Every last thing about it.
I picked
Anything we tell you here that that you don't see or don't hear about later just means that it changed in the time that we discovered everything about season 2.
So for those of you,
we're in the dark too. We have no clue what to expect other than what is obvious from season 1, but we're going to speculate on it some. There's been some stuff that has come out about season 2, namely there's castings that have come out, people that we know are cast or recast not recast, but are continuing on for season 2. There is definitely at least one recast that everybody has known about for quite a while, and some new casts that are going to be joining the ensemble. But for your spoiler warning, if you have not completed all the way through book 3, The Dragon Reborn of Robert Jordan's The Wheel of Time series, and you have not finished watching all of season 1 of the Wheel of Time TV show on Amazon Prime, you should probably click off of this or you're going to be spoiled. If you don't care about spoilers, hang out, stick around. And what we'll do is if we're going to talk about something like how it might have implications for later on in the series, at that point, we'll say like, hey, this could be spoilers for the rest of the series. So keep your ears out for those, because I'm sure there'll be at least one or two.
We'll try and keep it there, but So okay, so I gotta first off, I gotta say, because Kyle, we haven't had you on the show before, obviously. You watched the show, and as someone who's read the full series and watched the TV show, how are you leaning? How are you feeling about the show? And it's okay, you can be honest.
Yes. So I actually listened to a little bit of your guys' like what Amazon had changed episode. And I have to agree that up until episode 7, I was feeling pretty good. After episode 7, I was feeling really good. And then the finale was a bit of a gut punch the first time I watched it, of like, holy shit, like, where are we going with this? But after watching it a couple more times,
my boy.
Yeah, literally, exactly. I'm still feeling that way about Perrin, but we can talk about that throughout. And the finale honestly dampened my like excitement for season 2 a little bit, but I mean, I cannot wait to see what they come up with. They've definitely done a lot of good things. A lot of the changes obviously are a little bit of a head scratcher. They've set up some more interesting things in season 2, especially with Moraine and Lan. So we'll see what happens. I'm going to watch it no matter what. I mean, there's a very small amount of things they could have done that would make me not at least give season 2 a try. So, and then I say all this, and then they're going to come out with teasers and trailers.
And we're going
to be gassed up watching, like making plans to take off work. So take all of that with a grain of salt.
Yeah. No, we shared that sentiment almost exactly.
Yeah.
So maybe let's start with the obvious, I guess, elephant in the room that everybody's been talking about, wanting to know why, even kind of theorizing that the loss of, I say the loss like he died, the fact that Barney Harris is no longer working with the Wheel of Time TV show, and now it's I can't remember the last name, Donald, not Donald, but
I think it's Donald Flynn.
I thought it was Finn,
or
because I was making fun of it. It's like Snakes and Foxes.
Yeah, it's Donald Finn.
Oh.
Hopefully I'm saying the name right.
Well, if it's not, it is now.
Yeah,
he's a drop.
It is now.
Which I know a lot of people are excited for, because he was in The Witcher in 2019. He was in probably something more famous for our friends across the pond in the UK, the SAS Rogue Heroes Albion. Yeah, Albion. As I look over to definitely read the title, I didn't memorize this.
Yeah. Well, so sorry.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
So we know that has changed, and there's a lot of hope for Donald Finn. There's a lot of people that have seen his work that think that he's a fantastic talent, but The unfortunate side of the change is it seemed like everybody, myself included, fell in love with Barney Harris as Matrim Cawthon. It was so good, even with the changes to kind of how Matrim Cawthon or Matt works in the books. So yeah, it's going to be interesting to see. But the theories that I've seen more commonly in the last couple of days is that so much of the things that we, or at least a good part of the things we criticize when it comes to how things go with Perrin and Pat and Fane and these other actors as in people doing stuff, not like the talent themselves, in the finale and even the last 2 or 3 episodes would have been very different had Barney Harris remained on with the show.
I like these theories. I really, really do. The Wheel Takes had a really great one. Go check out their most recent episode. They had some really great theories on how things would have been different. As far as like directly into expectations for season 2 with this, God, always with recasts, it's difficult, right? Because you don't want to, like, how do you handle it? How do you just play it off like, oh, JK, haha, I'm a different person, but I'm the same person. And so it'll be interesting to see if they just kind of ignore it and go with it. I think they will. I think they'll just ignore it and run with it. But my question then becomes, like, how? Because they separated him, like, completely and totally separated him from the rest of the crew. He's back in Tar Valon. They're, 2 weeks ride away in Faldara. How are they going to be reunited? I feel like there could be a possibility that the women go back to Tar Valon, and maybe, to be trained or to be tested, whatever. Maybe Matt's there and he decides to like hang out with them some more. I don't know. It's a really kind of a crazy situation.
Yeah, I know.
Oh,
John,
and hey, look,
John
we got
from
Daniel.
Yeah. Oh, I was going to say hi to him after this statement.
Oh, my bad.
But hi, Daniel. Glad you can make it. Looks like you saw the light. I saw the light come on and but
it was very bright in my eye holes. So
yeah. But so some rumors came out from and maybe there's more about it now. I know when I watched John from What Up, he did a video on it, that the rumor was that Barney Harris had been let go from the production because of a refusal to take the COVID-19 vaccination. I know at the time, I didn't fact check it, so if the dates are wrong, by all means, don't sue me because I'm not claiming this is the truth. But that the vaccine wasn't a thing at the time where Barney would have been leaving the production. I don't know. John seems to do his research very well. I say not seems, he does. He does his research very well. I think John's a trustworthy source, and unless some more stuff has come out that I haven't seen, which is definitely possible because I try to avoid the internet. Not really, that's a lie. But
I also
try to avoid all the stuff.
Internet.
Yeah, I don't think that was it, but I'm not ruling it out as like a possibility.
The problem I had, because I saw the article too, and the problem I have with it is if you read the article, it's like it's suspected that it may have come down to the fact that he may have refused the COVID-19 vaccine. And it's just like, why did you even publish this article?
Because again, it's
irresponsible
and
stupid. The truth.
Being right. It's about being first.
I mean, it is good clickbait. I mean, you've got the Wheel of Time in there. You've got the fandom that is frothing at the mouth to find out why Barney is no longer with the production. And then you've got, everybody's hot topic issue for the past 2 years, COVID-19 and the vaccination. Yes. So, yeah, I don't know. The end thing is, people. Yeah, the end thing is none of us know why he's no longer in the production. We may never know. We may know way further down the line. I would hope that, at some point we would get some kind of answer for it. But, Amazon and Barney don't necessarily owe us an explanation as to why they made this change or decision.
Sometimes it just don't work out.
Yeah. But it'll be interesting. Well, my theory is that separating Barney or separating Matt from the rest of the group Probably, yes, did have something to do with Barney leaving production, but also it can set up a good segue into bringing in the Tricons in Tar-Valon.
Well, and I was going to say something here as far as that is concerned. The longer it goes, I will admit if there is more space between the announcement that he is going and the reason that he left, the more it does actually seem, not guaranteed, but seem to be a non-amicable split. Just because, again, it's definitely a situation where more often than not always, but more often than not, when it's actually something that was a completely reasonable, thing on both sides, you do actually get some kind of announcement. That being said, since we don't know anything about it, it's definitely I am not willing or able or interested in trying to throw either party under the bus, because while I am more often than not willing to believe that individuals are shit, I am also relatively easy and willing to admit that companies can be shit. So both sides look like they could be shit, and I don't have enough information. But again, I do actually like the idea that as things progress, there really is the ability to separate the characters and then bring them back together is such a hallmark of ensemble casts. And I think that they're doing a really good job setting up for season 2, as well as into season 3 and season 4 and everything else. The 100% idea that this is not the Rand story. This is not the Moraine story. This is not the Egwene story. It is the all of them story. It was about all of them. It was about none of them. It was about the world. And so I love the idea that they're starting that off early, even though it doesn't necessarily happen this way in the books, and it doesn't necessarily happen this early in the books. It is a good way to really hit home. We are following everyone's storyline, and get used to that because it's going to happen.
Yeah.
Anyway,
That was one of the casting quotes. I know where you got that from.
Yeah, it was.
But anyway, Daniel, this is Kyle from Bingetown. Kyle, this is Daniel
Hello.
from Black Tower Podcast.
Nice to meet you, Daniel.
You as well. Nice to have you on.
I've heard good things. Did you ride your bike home from work?
I did, and
Nice.
I rode the speed limit or lower all the way home because I had no choice. There was enough traffic that I didn't get to choose.
That makes sense.
Wow.
Yeah.
What about you, Kyle? What do you think about obviously having finished the series? What do you think about the splitting Matt from the group at this point in the story and how they're going to rectify that?
I feel like it's perfectly fine in my eyes, especially because it does kind of jive with Matt's character a little bit. I know that was a huge discussion online after episode 6 of, is this kind of character assassination of Matt that he's not going with them or not? And I just think that he is a character that kind of thrives a little bit on his own. He meshes really well with almost every character and side character in the series. So I'm honestly a little excited about it. This is one of those things that there are taking a little bit of liberties from the book. Actually, probably a lot of it are liberties from the book. So it feels kind of good to not know everything that's happening. And I think it sets the stage. I didn't think of the Trican angle, and I like that a lot because I'm a big fan of Elaine. But I just like we're kind.
I knew we were gonna get along.
Yes, but like we know that, and we're doing spoilers up until the end of book 3. So we know that
Right.
Tom is alive. So
Yes.
and we know that they
Wait,
have
what?
we know that they have a nice meetup in the exact
Sport.
city that Matt is in.
Yes.
So I would hope that is
It's
kind of
true.
where we're going with this.
Mhm.
I mean, thankfully, the only character that we see, they don't quite get assassinated, but they do get accidentated is Lila. So
Ayo.
Yes.
Dude, the amount of just longevity for those for Layla jokes is gonna be it's so good. It's so good.
And nobody can be blamed except for the talent. Like, I'm pretty sure the talent started that. Like, this was an excellent experience.
Yeah.
She did. Yeah.
She played it up hard.
Yeah,
Dude,
she's a great sport
I
on
had
Twitter.
so much wonderful immediate respect for the actress who plays Layla just because of the fun that she could have with the fact that her character was on screen for 6 minutes. Like,
she literally got fridged in episode 1.
I hate that word and I disagree with it, but she did get killed in episode 1.
She was a badass in it. What they
Bridging
got.
suggests that the antagonist did it as a means to give the protagonist a cause to get involved in the story. The protagonist did it, therefore it's not fridging, and you can go fuck yourself.
Season 2 will feature.
Do we think Layla's coming back for season 2?
An actual dragon. Your
Wow.
thoughts? No, just kidding.
I would stop watching.
Will Layla? You know what though? That's actually an interesting. Someone's dropped.
It better feature an actual dragon on a goddamn banner.
There you go. Yeah, where's the dragon banner? Okay,
That's a great point.
I gotta say,
What's in the box?
Actual dragon banner in
Rafe,
season 2?
what's in the box?
I want. The
Oh
dragon
shit! Is it Gwyneth Paltrow's head in that box with the Horn of Valir?
or one of her candles?
Nah,
This candle smells like my severed head.
That's how the dragon is gonna, defeat the Dark One. That's the only tools he needs: the Horn of Valir and a goop candle with the scent of my vagina.
yeah.
Yep.
Gwyneth Paltrow's musk.
Yeah. Oh god. Yeah. So I guess like the kind of biggest like tease kind of cliffhangery thing that or hook as more apt people I guess have put it. I'm going to call it a cliffhanger because I'm a plebeian. That's my rationale. I'm not saying anybody that calls it a cliffhanger is a pleb. Be whatever you want to be. The Sean Chan. I love the way they're introduced. I love the metric of, they look very distinctly exotic from what we have seen from the Ramlands or the Westlands thus far. I love the fact that they show up at a beachhead and they're like, there's a little girl digging up the Empress's clams. Better do a tsunami about it.
Oh, that's great.
I mean, I know that's not why they did it, but until we see actual Falma, I'm just going to assume that, they just saw a little girl digging for food in the beach and we're like, tsunami.
I don't think they saw the girl. I don't think they did. I
don't think it would have mattered if they did.
But
yes,
that would
I
imply,
actually agree with Josh.
That would imply that the Sean Chan don't watch, and we know they are the best watchers.
Hey.
Wow. That was
You know what
good.
I think they're gonna do?
I was deep.
I think they're gonna go full deja blue on this. They're gonna raise up the waves and they're gonna bring their ships up, turn to the side, and just boop, park. That's what I think they're gonna. That's my prediction.
That would be the most
Tokyo-
unbelievable thing. I just if they left us with that
If
impression.
you wanted to show yourself as having the biggest dick energy in the world, what would you do? I've got a fleet
Tokyo
of
drift
100
the boat.
ships.
I'm so pissed you said that before I got to say it.
But no,
yeah.
you
I want to see
get
it.
all your channelers to create a water ramp, and then you go, "Hey guys." Beep.
Well, I think that's actually my favorite part. My very first thought when I saw the Sean Chan and they make the tidal wave, I was like, they sailed around for a while. I bet you good money that they sailed around for a while and picked a place that was the most unlandable bullshit place. And then we're like, yeah, but we're the Sean Chan, so we're gonna make it landable, motherfuckers. Like, just to really throw everybody in Randland off.
Yeah.
Because they're like, yeah, no, that place is protected. Nobody would be stupid enough to land there. The Sean Chan would, motherfucker. Like,
Well, it gets interesting because at the end of episode 8, the season finale, Bran goes off on his "I must be" solo excursion, which is book 3.
Yeah.
Correct.
So
now
we've already got that element from there. So it's going to be interesting to see like kind of how they reconcile him being at Falma. You know, if maybe something causes him to turn to Falma, or he just goes to Falma first. It may just be that he may just travel to Falma first because Taviran.
And that's actually where I wanted to go next. Like, is he going to? I don't think he's going to the Isle Waste. I know a lot of people theorize that.
I don't think he is either.
My guess,
Kyle. What do you think?
I would hate that. I didn't even consider that as a possibility.
it's so yeah.
I hate it so much.
Soon.
It wasn't
It's too
even
soon.
in my.
No, yeah,
It's
no.
too soon.
I hate it so much. I've already forgotten the idea.
No, it's going to be interesting because again, one of the things that I love about this story really is the idea that no one is truly alone, even when they feel it. The motivations for characters are so easily swayed in so many ways because even in the books, a dream or a letter or a message or one of the Forsaken showing up to somebody and talking to them, all of those happen pretty regularly through the story to cause a character or characters to be where they need to be for the story to progress. Which again, on one hand, I get is you can look at that as kind of like a cop-out where it's just like, okay, but that's not the way that the story does work. Just because it can work that way doesn't mean that it should. But I would argue that again, Robert Jordan built that into the story. So if the TV show writers are like, cool, we're going to use that too, because it's a really good way of just breaking characters off and bringing them back together. I have no issue with that as long as they do it in a way that is, a la Robert Jordan kind of lines. And so I definitely think it's not even that difficult to get Rand back to where he needs to be using one of those tools that are, peppered through the entirety of the series.
Oh, you've talked to Rand. What is he doing? We know you know.
Well, I mean, he was talking about how he likes wielding a sword and using his bow, but it seems like he's going to try to have to learn how to use the power. He just got his first taste of it.
He hasn't really done a lot of sword work in season 1, though.
He has not.
So if he likes working with the sword...
The sword play would drive it up to an R rating.
I mean, probably. He did work with the sword in episode 1.
Yeah, this is true. I was shocked when he went off on his own.
Shut up, Daniel.
Thanks, Andrew. I'm not sure whether you were the only one who got that, but you are the only one who reacted. So
it took me a second, but I got it.
My prediction is tier. My prediction is tier. I think Rand is going to tier. I think they're just going to jump right into that storyline of him going, I'm in denial that I'm the Dragon Reborn. I don't want to be the Dragon Reborn. So I'm going to go take the Stone of Tyr to prove I'm not the Dragon Reborn.
Oh, fuck. I fucked up. I proved it. Fuck.
Yeah, exactly. I think Perrin is going to go after the horn. And I think they're going to slightly shift. I don't think it's going to be Padan Fain taunting Rand. I think Padan Fain is going to be taunting Perrin.
Okay, that's interesting because I feel like we talked about it a little earlier of how maybe Matt was supposed to be in some of those scenes with him.
Yes.
I wonder if they would continue with that storyline that they kind of almost were forced to make and then keep that going into season 2. That kind of hurts my heart a little bit because I like Rand and Loyal bonding on the hunt a lot.
Oh, that's so good.
Yeah, that's
and they've already set it up that it's Perrin and Loyal bonding.
Yeah,
well,
this
and
is true.
I'm not angry at that change, and I do actually like that, and I think that they're going to lean into that. And the other thing is, I honestly, as much as I hate this change again, because I like the character so much, I absolutely at this point think Perrin is going after the horn and there is no Huron. I think Huron is being replaced by Perrin in some ways, the way that he replaces him in the books. They're just going to do that from the outset rather than making it Huron first and then Perrin when Huron disappears. I think Perrin is just from the get-go going to find out that he is an evil sniffer and go after the Horde.
Yeah, that's kind of like easy low-hanging fruit for them to trim things. Which is
especially again,
but...
when it's Robert Jordan gave you the blueprint for this, you're just starting it earlier. Like, that is some of the changes that, again, I hate it because I like Huron. Not because I think it's a bad change, except that it means we don't get Huron, and I like Huron. Like, that's the only reason. So it's a selfish, shitty reason.
No, don't say that. It's a great reason.
Well, part of it too, when we look back at the books, and I'm not going into specifics, so this doesn't spoil too much. But when we look at the characters that Loyal, for example, interacts with the most, has most of a kind of development, kind of arc and kind of kinship and relationship, and is around the most in terms of total series, which I'm sure is what Rafe and team are looking at too. How do we set up total series stuff now? Loyal spends a significantly larger amount of time with Perrin and some others that we may or may not have met yet than he does with Rand. It is a big part of the Great Hunt, this camaraderie between Rand and Loyal and Huron, going through the portal stones and everything like that. But ultimately, for the majority of the series, Loyal spends a ton of time with Perrin. And I could see that being an aspect where they're like, you know what, we can trim this down and go ahead and have the Loyal and Perrin friendship pretty much start from near the get-go. Because we still got our iconic scene of Rand walking into the library and Loyal popping up and Rand shitting his hair-marked pants. And pulling a sword on him. We still got that part
with your hair marked
poking knives at me.
But the first day that I was here, these children threw fruit at me because they thought I was a Trolloc.
Yeah.
Okay. Loyal visually, like, I'm giving a 7 out of 10 because I just didn't know what to expect, and I'm okay with it. Character-wise, I'm giving a 10 out of 10 because I love him. He's beautiful and brilliant. Season 2 Loyal.
Forever, yes.
Because we do know that Loyal is alive.
Uh-huh.
And this is one of the things that I absolutely did not like about the finale was this feint that Loyal was killed. And just kidding, he's not. And I'm kind of like...
Well, the part that I hated about it was that it was the dagger, because we know that
the dagger exactly.
And I get the change, and especially again if, and I'm putting a big if on this, Malkier Rob is right that was all just a dream sequence. I will be so annoyed. But unless it's a dream sequence, then they've completely nixed the dagger. The dagger is just gone. I mean, like, it's not gone, like, but it's completely not the same thing. If it's not a dream sequence, if it is a dream sequence, I'm still mad at it because dream sequence, fuck you. But, like, again, it's either way. Either you nuke the dagger or you nuke that scene. And I don't like either of them.
I don't like either option.
No, the dream feels like a worse idea.
Though I will also admit, to your point earlier, I think the one thing that they really did well with the Loyal's costume and makeup and all of that different stuff is that in the books, I understand that so many people just don't even really fucking know what an Ogier looks like or a Trolloc. I get that. I'm aware of that. I appreciate all of that. And Robert Jordan built a world that makes sense with that being true. In the show, Loyal definitely looks a lot more like a Trolloc than the Ogier in the books feel like they look like Trollocs. And that's the one piece of credit that I absolutely will give to the practical effects that they used for Loyal, that I feel like he actually resembles Trollocs from episode 1 pretty significantly. And so when he's introduced and he's like, everybody thinks I'm a Trolloc, you're like, yep, totally. I see you. I see you, Loyal son of Halloran, son of Errant, son of Hallam, son of lots of people.
So what are predictions for Loyal then for season 2?
That's tough because my question too is about this is like, are the portal stones going to be a thing in the show? And that seems like, I mean, I would like it to be, but if Rand isn't with them to do these things, then who is going to be the person that kind of gets them involved with that? So
we might not get a flicker scene.
I don't know. I actually have a strong feeling that Rand will still get pulled into Portal Stone area, but that it won't be quite the same. Like, I don't know if, because obviously I get that we're going through book 3, right?
Yeah,
all the way through. Okay, cool. I absolutely appreciate, I really do, that Ingtar needs Flicker for his top 15 anime redemption arcs.
Right?
Yeah.
But
needs
is
to
Ingtar
happen.
even
it
alive?
has to be there if you're doing the Ingtar storyline. However, if we lose Ingtar, which again,
they casted him, I believe.
I love Ingtar. Ingtar's so good. Ingtar's actually a great character. But if you're really looking to cut out as many characters that don't need to be there as possible, Ingtar is not a terrible choice. It just sucks because he's such a great story. But if you cut Ingtar, you don't need.
Yeah, he was cast.
Well, but he's in the room where everybody dies.
So what about this?
So again,
go
if
ahead,
that's
Kyle.
A dream sequence, he's not dead. If it isn't a dream sequence, he might be. If we know
Maybe
Udo's
he
alive, so
survived
he
too.
might be. I don't fucking know.
I don't think
Anyway,
we got to
sorry,
confirm. I don't think we got to confirm casting for Ingtar in season 1. He's only confirmed for season 2.
Yeah, I heard, and this actually,
fair.
this was probably What Up because I feel like everything I know about casting news is from him. But
Hey, John, we got one of your fans.
but
We got 4 of you fans, actually.
Well, I mean 4.
yeah, they had casted someone, the guy who plays the Ingtar role in season 1, but he wasn't. Something happened with him with like conflicts of interest or like recording.
He's doing
schedules.
Willow, the TV show, as well.
Yeah, Hetzky put it in the chat. Yeah.
So technically, I think because his name, he's credited as Lord
Yokoda.
Yeah.
Thank you, Hetzky, for putting that in the chat.
Yeah,
Indeed,
my
yes.
man. So we're gonna get Ingtar, and actually, Ingtar's actor is a great actor.
Agreed. I actually remember the casting for it and being like, I know this motherfucker. Like,
yeah. Da Vinci's Demons, great TV show.
Yup.
Yeah. I mean, well, since we're talking about casting, that might be a good segue. Let's talk about the confirmed casting we have so far for season 2. Like we talked about, we've got Greg Chillingrian. Hopefully, I'm saying your name right. For Ingtar, we've got Sierra Coveney for Elaine. Arnis Federovicus as Massima, Donald Finn, of course, as Matt Cawthon, Natasha O'Keefe as a to-be-announced role, Mira Sayal as to-be-announced, and we don't know who, because for some reason, the Wheel of Time account wouldn't actually give me the answer in the tweet where I asked for the answer, but we know we're getting Avienda. She's confirmed, apparently, to be in season 2.
She's there.
Nice.
Yeah, there's a myriad of unconfirmed castings thus far, like there always is with most TV shows.
I want Well, that definitely means that we're almost guaranteed to get into book 3 shit, because Avienda running around with Nynaeve and Elaine,
Right?
like that's so that's
So-
great shit. I love it.
That means we'll get. I mean, I guess it's not guaranteed, but Ruark as well.
Oh,
So here's the thing. So let me just throw it out there. Okay. Season
as a
2.
completely straight white male, Ruark does it
Yes.
for me.
Ruark. My heart for Ruark. Okay.
I think it's easier to list the people
Spears.
that don't do it for us.
Spears out for Ruark?
Oh wow, I like that a lot.
We invite you to be Saber neighbors.
That might be a post game thing.
Hey.
There you go. All right. Okay, so my prediction for the overall story arc of season 2. Here it goes. I'm just gonna throw it out there. I'm just gonna put it
All
out
right, let's do it. Lay it out for us, Josh.
Perrin and Loyal with a contingent of Faldaran soldiers chase Padan Fane and the Horn. Okay?
Excellent.
Heck.
The ladies, Nynaeve and Egwene, wait in Faldara Keep for Moraine and Lan to get back. Moraine is morose but determined. They go back to the White Tower. Well, maybe they don't. Fuck, I don't know. That part
Make
is
a
little
decision,
shady.
Josh.
Nynaeve somehow,
Have
because
some
of Eyes to
balls
Die
and make
trickery,
a decision.
they go back to the White Tower. Okay. Rand fucks off to Tyr. Then they recover the horn. We're not going to get a battle in the sky in Falma, guys. I'm sorry. It's just not going to happen.
Yeah.
It'll be in Tyr. The battle will be in Tyr. Rand will use Kalendor instead of his father's Heronmark sword. The ladies will join them down in Tyr because they'll be like, oh my God, some shit's going down in Tyr. We need to go. Boom. Nynaeve and Egwene are there. After Perrin and Loyal recover the horn, they're going to be like, oh God, some shit's going down in the Two Rivers. We need to go to the Two Rivers. Boom. Matt is going to go with the ladies down to Tyr, where he's going to buddy up with the lords. We're going to end season 2 finale is going to be Rand fighting the Dark One in the skies of Tyr. He is going to use Kalendor to do it. And then that's going to be the end of season 2. That's my prediction.
All right.
So
Kyle,
no
lay it
Matt.
out for us. What do you got?
I'm just the comment I will make on that real quickly is no Matt Horn Sounder.
Oh, Matt is going to beat the shit out of Gawain and Galad in the tower,
Okay.
in the White Tower. And
then he's going to blow something that isn't
he's
a
not
horn.
going to be sounding the horn in season 2. There, Matt from the Dusty Wheel, Innkeeper Hatch is correct. Barney did not blow. I do not believe that Donald will blow in season 2.
Yeah, but they can let Donald doot. He can doot away on the horn. That's what we got to do. Instead of let Barney blow, now it's let Donald.
Let
doot.
Donald doot.
Oh my God, I love that.
I'm putting it out there on our Twitter right now. So that we can be, we're
Do
the
it
first.
immediately.
Full send. Oh, God.
All right, Kyle.
Hashtag let Donald doot.
You are more than welcome to agree with certain things that Josh said and put them in yours. But what is your map? Both in how you think that season 2 will go, and also if Josh missed anything that you think is important to mention. Lay it out for us. What do you got?
I'm so bad at this because like I love the story so much that it hurts to cut things out.
Sure.
So like I like how courageous was it to just skip over Loyal and Perrin getting involved in Tyr? I feel like I love Perrin in Tyr.
Courageous.
Like I love that with him and Lan.
You got some balls
Aiel.
here, Josh. You got some
Yeah, you
balls.
do.
You got some balls to skip over Perrin and Loyal and
I think I agree with the fact that we're not going to get the battle in the sky because I think that it's almost too confusing and kind of a letdown on the screen if we battle the same guy 3 times and then it's like, oh, it's not actually him, by the way. So I think I agree with that we'll get that battle. It ended up in Tyr. there's just so much to do in between. I feel like I can't like believe they're gonna smash 2 and 3 into one season. So
Do you need a
that
second
being
to
said,
think? Should I throw to Andrew?
yeah, I'm drowning without a fucking lifesaver right here.
No problem. Well, let's see if Andrew
Well, let
can give
me
you
be
some
your lifesaver.
inspiration.
I don't know how
Yeah.
buoyant I am, but
You'll
I
try,
think
though.
I think they're going to try to take what they've identified, they being obviously Raven Team, as the most important aspects of the storyline from the Great Hunt, and have it run simultaneous to, at least for the first half, if not the majority of the Dragon Reborn, run simultaneously, because the story of the Dragon Reborn is ultimately Rand's travel and moving around to get to the Stone of Tyr, to do what he needs to do. Because we know from in the books at this point, he's like, okay, yeah, it's unavoidable. I have to do this kind of stuff. And the sooner I do it and get it done with, the sooner I don't have to worry about it anymore.
The sooner I can die.
Yeah. And we see Rand already, from the TV show perspective, has already fully accepted, it's me. I'm the Dragon Reborn.
He did do that. That is true.
So I think we'll get Rand traveling around and making it to Tyr, to the Stone of Tyr. I think he will use his father's sword to fight so that he can reach Kalendor, and I think the finishing blow will be dealt, with Kalendor. But I'm hoping we still get the branding. So
Yeah, and also with that
important.
too, it's how does Rand and I guess Rand and Min don't really have like too much of it. They interact, I guess, at the end of book 2.
Yeah.
And then
I-
not for a little bit, but it seems like
It's a
everything
very
feels important
brief
to me.
Interaction. Yeah.
I could definitely see men having left Faldara for safety, showing up in Tyr, seeing this fight and seeing Rand, just going, son of a bitch.
Yeah,
I left to get away from all of this. Okay, fine. I have to.
Well, and can I just say, I actually really like, in some ways, the idea, because that's like that is so biblical in some ways. That's like, Jonah kind of shit of like, I know I am supposed to fall in love with this guy. I has seen it. I seen it. Cool. Nah. Fuck that shit. I am getting as far away from Faldara as humanly possible. Where is the furthest place from Nineveh is Joppa? Excellent. I'm going there.
Ladies and gentlemen, Daniel.
Very Confucian too.
Biblical.
So this is a very Confucian idea as well. The whole like
Right?
the man who
And then, of
tries
course,
to
he just
avoid
shows up,
his
right?
fate often winds up
Yes.
causing it. But I think that they're for season 2 that they're going to have
Fuck.
Rand's arc essentially from Dragon Reborn run its course. The middle part of it may be soaked up by us getting some mirror world action that may still happen with some different characters. It may be a solo like come to Jesus moment, or come to Selene moment, maybe, who knows. A little bit of sword play in a mirror world.
All right.
But I think we're also going to get a lot of the Great Hunt. I do agree. I think it is going to be largely Perrin and Loyal that pick up the kind of the banner, if you will, of chasing after the Horn of Valir. I think it's going to be part Loyal and Perrin feeling guilty from not being able to stop the theft and wanting to make up for that. I think Perrin's going to have some serious flashbacks and be like, I didn't do anything to stop it, and this, these people almost died because I did nothing. I think they might use that to show his middle
also,
ground.
let's be honest, it was 2 fades and a dude with a really evil dagger. You had no chance, but also you didn't do anything.
Yeah. That's the bad part, is that he kind of just took a lap real quick and then came back and everyone was pretty much dead.
Well, that's my
just because you can't do anything
scene.
doesn't mean you're not going to
Yes.
feel guilty for doing nothing.
No, exactly. That's what I was going to say. Is I love how if he had done something, we would have had dead Perrin. Like, the fact that he doesn't do anything is probably a really good thing, even though he's not going to feel like that.
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
I think they'll do that because right now, like it seems like the majority of parents' motivation to do anything is guilt.
Yes.
Guilt over literally trying to turn his one wife into two, and guilt over letting people get stabbed and just standing there like I have pokey stick. So I think we'll get that, and I think Matt's arc will largely just be Tarvalon. I think it'll be how we meet the Tracans, both Galad, Galwin, and Elaine. We'll see that Tom is alive, of course, I think, and Tarvalon as well. Tom seemed to have pretty good motivation to go to Tarvalon to make sure that the Aes Sedai weren't manipulating these guys. So I think we'll get that. The only question I have is how are they going to work getting Nynaeve and Egwene back to the White Tower? I'm unsure about that because I don't know that Moraine goes back to the White Tower with them. I don't see that happening with the way they have set things up unless Suan makes contact somehow. Because we know that Rafe has already said that they had to set up things. They had to set up things for Moraine and Lan to have something to do because you can't keep Rosamund Pike and Daniel Henney on retainer and then have them do nothing for an entire season.
Yeah,
that's why my prediction involves them taking Egwene and Nynaeve back to the tower, and then fucking off down to Tyr to try and meet back up with Rand.
So I guess
I don't see their motivation to go back. Like Moraine has essentially sworn not to go back.
Yeah,
I mean, though, if she's still, she doesn't have to follow that oath anymore.
Well, I mean, she never took an oath to not go back, but
yeah, she did.
No, she didn't.
She
took an oath.
The oath.
She took an oath to obey Suan, not to never go back
and
Tarvalon.
to never return until
Suan calls her home.
Yeah.
Okay, that part's true.
Yeah. So
that's.
again,
I feel like it would be a little upsetting almost if that scene was such like a big focus in episode 6, and then
just
tossed. Right away. She's like, "Hey, you know what? Come back. Forget about that."
Right.
and this is the disappointing thing, but I kind of feel like that might happen.
Yeah.
I mean, Suan might send an Aes Sedai to Faldara and be like, "Oh shit, you guys almost got overrun. You literally have 0 soldiers now. We need all hands on deck. That includes you, Moraine. Get your sexy ass back here so I can have relations with you. I mean, so that we can have your strength here at the tower."
I mean, not your strength because you have none anymore. But damn it!
Yeah, just morale boosting by your pretty face.
She was stilled. I hate the shielded theory. I don't think she was shielded.
Really, I'm on the complete opposite end of that.
I don't fucking know.
I didn't see anything to indicate that she was shielded.
Stilling it feels so like drastic, I guess.
So there is
what's the point though?
There's no indication that she was still.
There is one major piece that they were missing. Her getting stilled, whatever happened to her at the end of season 8 looks exactly like what happened to Logain, except with one major huge piece, the power doesn't leave her at the end. That is the one piece that is not the same. Everything else is exactly the same as what happens to Logain, but she doesn't have this big blast of power.
And there is at the end
that's totally missing
the kind of move with the fingers, and it looks like the weaves that are kind of in between fucking Ishmael's fingers look like they kind of wrap around themselves.
Yeah.
So unless they're going to say like the motivation for Moraine to go back is, she knows she's shielded and tied off, so she's going to try to default back to somebody that knows knots really well. I don't know.
Yeah.
All
right, Kyle. You
got
some inspiration?
I'm just curious if it does end up being that we're kind of jumping to Tyr, then are you saying all that with the belief that the Seanchan are actually landing at Tyr? Because it seems like if they're landing at Falma, but everyone else kind of fucks off to Tyr, then what is the point of the Seanchan in this season? Because I feel like Egwene, at the very least, needs to stop in Falma. So does she get left in Falma and then I guess maybe Perrin and Loyal come help and break her out with Ingtar, and then they fuck off to the two
That's
rivers.
actually
While then
a really-
Egwene goes on
Oh.
a solo past the two rivers into Tyr.
Ooh.
I think they are indeed landing at Falma, and I think that's where the Perrin and Loyal arc is going to go. That doesn't mean that Rand still doesn't want up showing up there. I don't see why they would. I don't see, with the track everything seems to be going, I don't see the need for him to be there when they can just have him go straight to Tyr. And we get the kind of whole Tyr thing. Maybe Matt shows up in Tyr too, because we know how much he loves to play with things that explode. Maybe we'll get that, and maybe Egwene and all them going back to the tower will happen early enough for a certain Red Aja sister to pull some fucky shit and bring them down to Falma.
A Burgundy sister, as it were.
Yeah, I think. I mean, I feel like Leandrin getting revealed to be a dark friend, Black Aja, has to happen in this season.
All right, Kyle. It sounds
think
like
it's-
you're putting together your thing. What's your roadmap here? I like it.
I think that's the
Let's
only
go.
way to get Egwene with the Shan Chan right now.
Yeah, that seems like it, and I feel like they did a good job. I thought. I think one of
So-
the strengths they had in the season was kind of hammering that point home of almost anyone can be a dark friend, especially at the end where they're kind of insinuating that maybe Matt or Perrin or Rand, one of them will turn to the dark. So I think it would be great if we have a. I guess Leandrin at this point is kind of like a tier 2 character. I guess she's not really a main character, but if
So-
she flips dark right in the beginning, I feel like that's fun.
This actually brings up an interesting sort of crux to what I was trying to theorize, and I actually kind of want to modify my theory now.
Nope, you don't get to. Your map is already done.
Shit!
No, just kidding. Go ahead. Go ahead, Josh. Please do.
Well, no, if Lan and Moraine take Egwene and Nynaeve back to Tar Valon, which I believe they will, Leandrin has already expressed supreme interest in Nynaeve and Egwene. Well, Nynaeve at the very least. And once she sees that Nynaeve and Egwene are besties, she's just going to take them both because it's easier. So if she's the reason they go to Falma, and the reason she's able to get away with it is because Moraine and Lan fuck off down to Tyr, now you're starting to work with something there that I think makes a lot of sense, or at
Yeah.
least fits well with the story.
I could see Moraine and Lan kind of dropping the kids off at school and not going to the White Tower itself. But then it's kind of, what do they do? I mean, because in the second book, all they really do is they research. They kind of have a nice little study hall with, I forget the name of those twin sisters. But so I feel like they're going to have to explore Moraine trying to get access to the power back. And it feels like the White Tower is obviously the
Which
place
is
to
another
go.
reason she would go right back.
Yeah, but it seems like I don't know if they're going to go right back there. So then it's kind of, how do they do that?
Atlas and Van Deen.
Yes.
That-
Thank
you,
you.
Headsky.
I think they're going to get cut.
Yeah.
Do you think we're actually just? Do you think they're gonna get cut, or do you think we're gonna get Adeline?
They're going to get Basil Guild.
Don't
Whoa.
say
They're gonna be like, oh, hey, what's up,
whoa,
Atlas and Van Deen Sedai? See you guys later. No, we're not.
Whoa.
No, they're gonna get
Whoa.
Basil Guild.
Whoa, all right.
Sorry.
So what you're saying is they're gonna get nothing in season 2, but we'll get a flash, and then in season 7.
I mean, that's kind of the storyline.
that's the energy. Like, that's how these people do this shit. So maybe
Is that BBGE? Big Basil Gill energy. Or is it just BGE? Big Gill energy.
I like that a lot.
Big Gill energy.
Yeah. I like it, but it's kind of respectful that you only need his last name, and we
Yeah.
all know who we're talking about.
Absolutely.
You know, no need for the formalities of the first name.
Yep.
Well, as we're reaching close to wrap up time, I think this could be a good question, and we'll start off with Kyle for this. If let's just assume that season 2 will cover at least 80 to 90% of the events of the Great Hunt and the Dragon Reborn. Let's just assume that.
Okay.
What is, if you had to pick one scene from those 2 books, because I'm making this super easy on you, obviously.
Yeah, thank you.
What is that one scene for you that has to be in season 2 from the Dragon Reborn or the Great Hunt?
Has to be in season 2.
What is your Manetherin story moment?
Oh,
for
wow.
season 2?
Yeah, this is a nice little softball to end us.
Yeah, right.
I think that the one that I feel like for me personally has to be in there is going to be honestly the Ingtar scene. I think that's such a great part of the second book. Even on my reread, I cried again, even though I know it's coming. And I think it's such a great way to show the way that people turn to the dark and how they're kind of bad people, but they're not. And I like the layers that are in there. But
Like it's not all black and white
or an
but
onion.
But I guess another small scene, because I'll cheat and do 2. I really like when Rand's a little crazy.
Cut his mic. No.
And there's like the 10 people roll up to him and he ends up like killing all of them and cutting their heads off and making like their dead bodies bow. Only because I would love to see how Yosha acts in that scene. The Gray Men, I think, are a great part of book 3. I never realized how often they're mentioned in that book until I reread it recently.
Like, I swear that's like the book that the
They're
Gray Men
everywhere.
are like the bad threat, and then
Yeah.
afterwards it's like they've caught too many Gray Men. We can't keep sending these guys. Like
Yeah.
it's not working. Like
that was off screen. Yeah,
other things.
that strategy
but all of
meeting.
Book 3, like
Yeah. So I think that would be fun if they do add in the Gray Men. I think that's a great scene with them. Because the big thing, they're going to add in like a lot of the big ticket stuff. So I'll go a little more underrated.
fair enough.
All right. What is your scene there, Josh?
The scene that I need in season 2. Oof. I need the scene where Perrin decides to do something. I really need it. I really need Perrin to go, I made a mistake. I messed up, and because of that, the bad guys won, and I can't let that happen again. That's what I need.
Is that in book 2 and book 3? What scene?
Shh. This is a TV show. It's an adaptation.
Yeah, but he said from books 2 and 3, what is the scene that you need from the books to include in season 2? Like, I love you, but you didn't answer the question. Answer the fucking question.
I didn't understand the assignment. Okay,
I appreciate that. So
we appreciate your answer.
The assignment.
However,
what is the scene that gives you that feeling from books 2 and 3? Because I think you and I might have kind of the same scene. It's a scene, and I was gonna say it.
I'm upset. I already said mine.
What's the scene, Josh? You know the answer.
No, I know there's pressure on my brain and I can't do
when
it.
he meets Gaul. That's the scene.
Yes,
God damn it, Josh.
I'm so upset I didn't say that.
No,
I mean, you're not wrong. Gaul is very important. That is a very important scene.
Just kidding. I didn't really mean to put you on blast. It was just
no. You know what? Yeah, that is a good. But see, that's the thing. Like, it's so hard to pick because there's
agreed.
The Great Hunt is
so great.
It's a lot of people. I'm
gonna slap you through the computer.
A lot of people are willing to say the Great Hunt is too fast, too furious. Okay, you can just kind of skip over that one. I disagree.
Who says that?
Weirdos.
Find them. Make me a list. I will write their names in a book, and somebody will go kill them.
Oh, would you have another? Is there
No.
a third anime fan in the building?
Oh God.
Okay. The answer
Do you even know that
is
you made a reference to
no.
Death Note?
Yes, I did it intentionally.
Okay,
That
good.
was 100%. Yeah. Okay, just making sure that everybody knew that I
Okay.
knew that was what I was saying.
No,
And the
that I
answer
was
is
making sure.
no, but also yes. I like anime for its pop culture-ness, not necessarily for anime itself, if that makes sense.
You should love it for its fans, or I mean, for its plot.
As long as it makes sense to you, I guess that's all.
Okay, cool. I like yelling Kamehameha for 37 minutes straight because
Okay.
that's a pop culture reference. But if I actually see Goku do it, I'm like, this motherfucker.
Okay, season two from the books. What I would like
Kamehameha.
some sort of confrontation between Rand and Ishamael.
Okay.
Because Rand is actually kind of pissed off that he got played, or he will be when he finds out he got played. And the battle over the sky in Falma, I don't think it's going to happen.
You
I don't
play
think it's
Joseph.
going to happen. But I do think that we will get another battle. So it won't be the battle in the sky, but I do think we will get another definitive battle in which Ishamael will go back to the Dark One. So that's going to be my season 2 that I need, which is the battle in the sky. That's not the battle in the sky.
Okay. Cool. Andrew, what you got?
I'm going to go with you because I think I just realized that the one I was thinking of this whole time isn't actually
season
in
4
the Dragon Reborn.
4?
I think so.
Understood. All right,
It's
cool.
so tough.
So I am going to answer this question and answer the last question at the same time because I'm going to be the contrarian to everybody else for just a moment. So I think season 2, Rand fucks off and does his Dragon Reborn arc by himself, away from everybody else, that turns into his Great Hunt arc with Selene, and ends with him getting information that Egwene has been trapped by the Shan-Chan, and that's what brings him to Falma. I think that Liandrin absolutely brings Egwene and Nynaeve and Elaine to Falma to be given to the Shan-Chan. They get Egwene. That's Rand's motivation to be there, and that we do get Donald Dutton. And that is the definitive battle at the end of season 2. I think that the Heroes of the Horn coming back and fighting a battle against the Shan-Chan, the White Cloaks, and Rand in the Sky against Balsamon is too much of a season ender to just not do. So that's definitely my prediction for season 2, that we actually do get that, but we skip over a lot of what we need to do in season 3 in the Dragon Reborn by just having Rand go through all of that before he gets to Falma. And then they just go straight to Tyr afterwards. Not straight to Tyr, but they go to Tyr afterwards. I
hope you're right.
I definitely think that Perrin and Loyal go after Padan Fain to get the horn with the contingents of soldiers, and then either we get an X time later where they just go to Falma, and that's why they're there as well with the horn to give to Matt, who has come from Tar Valon with Tom to be there to blow the horn. And I think that Moraine and Lan go off on their own journey, and that we actually do get Moraine stilled, and we also get Suan stilled, and they bond over the fact that they're stilled until Nynaeve heals Moraine. I think she actually heals Moraine later. Oh fuck, I just fucked up. You're gonna have to cut that.
Oh! That was a spoiler for
Sorry,
later
that
on.
was 100% a spoiler for later.
It wasn't me this time.
It wasn't
me this time. It wasn't me this
So
time.
I apologize. But yeah, so I think that's my map for season 2, and I think that the scene that I really, really need in season 2 that is from books 2 and 3 is the one where obviously I said mine earlier ish with Josh, where it's parent meeting doll. And then I also really need, since I don't want to just say the same one as Josh, there's the other scene where Matt blows the horn out of necessity, not because he actually thinks that he's worthy. In fact, I like the idea that he never actually feels worthy, but that he does it because no one else can. Because again, maybe not no one, because Perrin's there as well. But like, again, I have always loved the fact about Matt's character that Kyle brought up earlier, that like him not going with them to the Eye of the World or even to Faldara, that's book one Matt to a T. Like he does, but him not doing it 100% within his character. I agree with him having that, agency and whatnot 100%. But when the chips are down, when literally the fate of the world is at stake, Matt never lets people down. Even when he's going down this Darth Matt path, even when he could turn evil, even when all of this stuff is true, he does the right thing. And when he blows the horn of Valir at the end of book 2, that is the beginning of Matt's redemption story. And I really appreciate that, as far as I will be responsible when you need me to. I will fight it. I will be angry about it. I will complain about it all the way through. But when you need me, I am there. And so Matt blowing the horn because there's no one else who will. That one, I need that one. Andrew, what's your
mine,
no longer book 4 one?
Yeah.
Which,
because my initial answer was book 4 chapter 10. If you know, you know. If you don't know, fucking read or listen, you'll find out, I promise. But
Laugho.
Yeah. I guess the scene that I would have to say, not piggybacking or cloning any other scenes that were already said, would be the tag team match in the Stone of Tyr over Kalendor.
Josh.
Never piggyback. That's terrible. Do not ever piggyback off of what someone says.
Springboard. You can springboard.
You can springboard.
Yeah.
Just to piggyback off of piggybacking. Yeah, no. I think it would, for my scene, I would have to choose the tag team match over Kalendor.
I hope Dan's right in the sense that, like, we don't get too deep into the Dragon Reborn in this season. It's totally because I would be terrible at cutting details because I love all of the details. That's why I was just absolutely crippled in trying to give an on-the-spot roadmap of what the season can look like. Because how could I possibly cut things out? But I can't imagine them going to Falma, having a huge battle in like the middle of the season, and then, the end of the season, we get another huge battle. I feel like the problem almost I had with the first season was that things were a little kind of janky in terms of how things were paced and going on episode to episode.
Well, and I have to
looking at their current pacing requirements that they would have to have.
Yeah.
Well, if you spent the majority of season 1 covering Eye of the World, I think you need essentially a full season for Memory of Light because of what happens in Memory of Light. Sure. So for them to meet that kind of metric, assuming 8
you need
seasons,
a full season for the last battle.
That sounds
but assuming a metric or a time span or a season count of 8 total seasons, that takes up season 1 and season 8. So you kind of have to do 2 books a season for the middle ones, and that even includes including more aspects from books that should have more stuff included and taking away some of the stuff from books that we don't actually need. Yeah. So
I know that you're probably right objectively. I just hate that you're probably right.
Well, and so this is actually
I would love to be wrong.
I think it's okay. It is both a hope of mine because I said it. I mean, blah blah blah. But also, interestingly enough, I have always thought that the end of book 2, while the end of book 3 is more dynamic in some ways, there's more going on. The end of book 2 is more of a season ender. I feel like you can do the Battle for Kalendor as a mid-season episode. There's so much going on, but at the same time, it feels like that actually like makes it kind of more mushy. And therefore, since it's not a pin, like you don't get that this big battle is the boom. Like it's a little more gray and it's a little more mushy and it's a little more whatever, especially because the next book, the Shadow Rising, again, I'm not going to spoil anything, but like it starts almost like a season ender in some ways. Like there's so much that happens at the beginning of the Shadow Rising. It's like pretty major. I feel like you can do the Battle for Kalendor as a mid-season episode way better and way easier than you can do the Battle for Falma. And so definitely if you're picking one to like end a season on, I would 100% do the Battle for Falma rather than the Battle for Kalendor. And again, since you can mix so much of that stuff, as we've already talked about, as far as Rand being on his own and his own journey and Dragon Reborn and all of that different stuff, I just have always very much felt like you end with the Battle of Falma. Sorry, Andrew, you were.
Well, yeah, I mean, you don't have to apologize. I started talking while you were still talking. I don't think either one will be a mid-season battle because, and this is just a thought here. It's a way to potentially satisfy both. Shut up. A way to satisfy like kind of two ideas, and it would allow them to still keep the battle in the sky, and I think give it an enhanced purpose.
Fair.
So season 2, episode 8, hopefully episode 10, but maybe episode 8. You have where it is switching between Perrin and Loyal and maybe Matt and the Shan Chan battling it out in Falma with Ingtar. I'm thinking like maybe that would be like the second to last episode of the season. Ingtar is like sacrifice and then it ends for the next episode. But you have the forces fighting in Falma. Mm-hmm. And then you have Rand hopefully with a now restored ability to channel Moraine fighting it out in Tyr. And while Rand is fighting Baalzamon, this or whatever, in Tyr, Perrin and the forces in Falma are able to see the battle in the sky over Falma as it's happening in Tyr. I think that would be a cool way to still keep that from the books and give it an enhanced purpose to show everybody what's going on. And you still get that full declaration to the world that Rand is the Dragon Reborn that we didn't get anything remotely near of in season 1. I think that could work. Fair.
Oh, as I reiterated at the beginning of this episode, for all of you particularly smarmy assholes who love to listen to us, you know who you are. Take notes.
More Shetty.
Damn.
Take notes, okay? And at the end of season 2, leave some hate comments on this video to tell us how wrong we are.
Yes. Go back almost the full year to this video.
Yep. Do it.
And let us know how wrong we were.
Hang on it right now. Bookmark, save. It'd really help if you subscribe to the YouTube channel and ring the bell. That way you get the reminders every week that we still produce content and that you need to go back and tell us how wrong we were. I'm just saying. Yeah. And while you're at it, subscribe to Bingetown too, because Kyle had some pretty bold theories. You might want to leave some hate comments on their videos. Too bold. Well.
Yeah. Oh, whoa.
Sorry. Are you familiar with that commercial? Okay, so it was a Jack in the Box commercial many years ago, and it became infamous in our family because it was a board meeting, and Jack is like, I need bold ideas, guys, or I need you guys to be bold. And one of the guys goes, Your head is ridiculously large. And then one of the other people goes, too bold. And so anytime somebody in our family said something that was like a little too far or like whatever, somebody else would be like, too bold.
Too bold. I like that.
Well, as we wrap this
If you're
up,
old like me and remember that commercial. Sorry, as we wrap this up, Andrew.
Says the youngest guy on the
As-
podcast.
Andrew's the youngest guy on the podcast, you dick.
Oh, yeah.
So as both of you old folks should do, speaking of wrapping things up, Kyle, remind everybody where they can go to listen to more of and find Bingetown TV and subscribe and follow and all that fantastic stuff.
Okay, yeah. So social medias, Twitter, Instagram, we're just at Bingetown TV. Like you guys, we have a website that is just our name, bingetowntv.com. That's easy access to kind of everything that you could possibly find about us. Our
Can they
YouTube,
binge
obviously.
all of it?
Oh yeah,
Excellent.
you could binge all of it. That would be fun, and then leave a 1-star review. That'd be great.
If I could
So yeah,
give 0 stars, I would.
those are always so funny. Not that we have any of those, but
We
Yeah.
do.
One. We got one, right?
Oh, damn straight. I
That's
think we
kinda
got
fun.
a couple at this point.
Well, I mean, we got a couple of hate reviews, but I think we only have one that specifically says
Oh yeah, if
I
give
can leave
you
0
yeah.
stars. I would.
Yeah, that's kind of fun. We got a 1-star for misogyny.
Yes.
Nice.
Oh,
Yeah,
I love it.
wearing that one like an Ashimon pin.
Do it.
Hey,
We approve. By the way, speaking of Ashaman pins, it's a kinder, gentler. No, it's not. I'm lying. It's not a kinder, gentler. It's a new Ashaman era where we have to blend into the modern era. And if you go into our Patreon and you subscribe at the correct levels, you will get an Ashaman and or dedicated challenge coin. That's the new hotness, my guys. Remember the rules of the challenge coin. Carry it with you. Just saying. Shameless
Don't you
plug.
dare come to Jordan Con or WattCon without it.
Do not
You gonna have a
Come
bad
to
time.
Jordan Con or WattCon without your coin. Which leads me to my final question of the evening. Kyle, will we have the pleasure of your company at Jordan Con or WattCon in 2022?
So I wasn't.
WattCon's going to be closer to you.
Yeah, I wasn't planning on it. I was saying this a little bit before we actually started officially recording, but this is Wheel Time's the first community I feel like I've ever actually actively participated in, like on Twitter and doing things like this. So I've never been to a convention. I've been trying to convince my friends to go to Otakon with me for a couple years, but I would actually love to. I think that after this conversation, this has been an absolute blast. I feel like we could keep talking about season 2 for another 3 hours. So I would love to actually continue this in person.
Excellent.
well, definitely do. I know Jordan Con, they're releasing tickets as they can in blocks because obviously it's a big convention. It's a very well known convention, so they can only release as many tickets as they can at a time. I don't know whether or not they're releasing more, because I think like the last block of 100 they released were gone within they were gone within a day.
Yeah,
I know
they went pretty quick.
I know WattCon still has tickets available. If you're looking for stuff about JordanCon, obviously jordancon.org. Go and check out everything there for JordanCon. If you're looking for WattCon stuff, go to wattcon.com. Definitely go there. Definitely, it's going to be worth it. I promise you. And I'm not just saying that because we're involved with the kind of building of it or anything like that, but definitely go and check it out. Follow WattCon official on all the social medias, Twitter, TikTok, everything.
You should do that.
Yeah.
If you're looking for information on the Gathering Madness, go to blacktowerpod.com.
I was about to say that's an October event.
Correct.
And it's also pretty awesome. You will have the
It is.
option of attending virtually or in person.
Always.
We haven't started planning it yet. So
We
when
haven't.
you go to
So you don't
blacktowerpod.com and
Yeah,
you look for Gathering Madness
Andrew
and you
and
don't
Daniel
find
need to
anything,
get their passports.
how about you know what? No.
Yeah, don't play this level.
So go and follow Bingetown TV for all of their fantastic
It's
stuff.
true. Do that.
It's more than just Wheel of Time, but if you're looking just for Wheel of Time, they definitely have some fantastic content to offer there, as well as a ton of other amazing content. Thank you so much, Kyle, and thanks to the rest of the Bingetown TV team for either letting you do this or answering the messages, or we'll make up an excuse to say thank you to everybody as if we did it more.
They agreed to let me out in public.
There you go.
All right.
Well, seeing as how you're the most attractive member of Bingetown TV, I mean,
all right.
Thank you.
Yeah.
and I'm not just saying that because you're the only one who came up.
I'll tell them just don't listen to the end of the episode.
Excellent.
But for those of us here at the Black Tower Podcast, thank you so much for listening. We can't wait to see you next week with the next episode. And when I say see you, I mean us to upload a video on YouTube and you to watch it all the way through. Subscribe, leave comments, like the video, all that fun stuff. It definitely helps us out, as well as leaving reviews on anywhere you listen to podcasts. We do truly, earnestly appreciate it. But for those of us here,
you
at
could
our
listen to it if you're a patron on Tuesdays. Just saying.
Yeah.
Sorry, but from all of us.
I have been your Bison Mahale, Andrew.
And I have been drunk.
Who has drink you? Who did it?
Why dog poop on sidewalk?
Josh, you know me, Josh. Sorovan Mahale, Storm Leader.
And I have been your Amin Khan Mahale.
Add in the
Daniel.
lightning later, Andrew.
Don't add in the lightning. It's way better.
Add in
than
the
just
lightning.
making this stupid face. No, but honestly, thanks again. You guys have been wonderful, and we will look forward to seeing you all next week. And from all of us here at the Black Tower Podcast, we hope that you're having a lovely morning. And in case we don't see you again, good afternoon, good evening, and good night.
In the tower, you can bring your pain. In the tower, you can feel the strain. You've been having so much trouble just fitting